All right, imagine this for a second. What if I told you, you don't need to break a system, you don't need to brute force anything, you don't even need to see the data, and yet you can still extract secrets just by measuring time? Sounds strange, right? But this is exactly what attackers do using something called timing attacks. Welcome to Bluehat Cybersec Academy. Now, let's talk about timing attacks, measuring response time differences. In the world of advanced offensive security, not every attack relies on breaking encryption or exploiting obvious bugs. Some of the most powerful techniques are subtle, quiet, and based on observation rather than intrusion. Timing attacks fall exactly into this category. A timing attack exploits tiny differences in how long a system takes to respond. Those differences, often measured in milliseconds or even microseconds, can leak sensitive information such as passwords, cryptographic keys, or internal system behavior. So, what exactly is a timing attack? A timing attack is a type of side-channel attack where an attacker measures how long a system takes to perform certain operations and uses that information to infer secrets. Instead of directly attacking data, the attacker observes how the system behaves while processing that data. Let's simplify the idea. If an application responds faster for incorrect input and responds slightly slower for partially correct input, then an attacker can gradually guess the correct value one piece at a time. Now imagine this in a real-world scenario. Think about a login system that checks a password as it is appearing on the screen. If the system stops checking as soon as it finds a wrong character, then something interesting happens. A completely wrong password gets rejected very fast. If the first character is correct, the response is slightly slower. If the first two characters are correct, it takes even longer. And just like that, by measuring response times, an attacker can guess the password character by character. So, now you might be wondering, where are timing attacks actually used? Well, they are especially dangerous in systems that handle sensitive operations. For example, in authentication systems, things like password comparison, API key validation, and token verification. In cryptography, it could be RSA implementations, AES operations, and digital signatures. In web applications, you'll find timing attacks, targeting login endpoints, password reset tokens, and session validation. And not to forget, even in network services like SSL or TLS handshakes and secure communication protocols. All right, now let's go a bit deeper and look at different types of timing attacks. The most basic one simply measures response differences between correct and incorrect inputs. Then, you have remote timing attacks executed over a network. These are harder because of latency noise, but, they're still possible with enough samples. Local timing attacks are much more precise because the attacker has local access, which means better accuracy and, honestly, higher success rates. And then there are advanced microarchitectural timing attacks. These exploit CPU-level behavior, like cache timing and branch prediction. Let's walk through a simple example scenario, password guessing. Imagine an attacker targeting a login API. First, they send password guesses like A, B, C. Then, they measure the response time for each request. The character that takes slightly longer is likely correct. Then, they move to the next character and repeat the process. And, over time, they reconstruct the full password. So why do timing attacks actually work? Well, there are a few key reasons. First, early exit logic. Code stops processing as soon as it finds an error. Second, non-constant time operations. Execution time depends on input values. And third, observable differences. Even tiny delays become measurable, especially with repeated requests and, statistical averaging. Now, of course, timing attacks are not always easy. Network noise adds randomness, so attackers need multiple samples to get reliable results. System variability also plays a role. CPU load can affect timing, and multi-threading introduces inconsistency. And on top of that, modern systems are increasingly hardened against timing leaks. This brings us to an important concept, constant time comparison. This is a secure approach where all inputs take the same time to process and no early exit occurs. In other words, instead of stopping early, the system compares all characters and only then returns the result. So how do we actually prevent timing attacks? First, use constant time algorithms, making sure that comparisons take equal time no matter the input. Second, avoid early returns. Never exit loops on the first mismatch. Third, you can add artificial delays, but, this should be done carefully because it's not really a complete solution. Fourth, use trusted libraries, since modern cryptographic libraries already implement safe comparisons. Fifth, Apply rate limiting to reduce the number of attempts an attacker can make. And finally, monitoring and logging are key to detect repeated probing attempts. Now here's the important question: why do timing attacks still matter today? Even with modern defenses, they remain relevant. Because, well, many developers still write insecure comparison logic. APIs often expose these subtle timing differences. Cloud environments allow, large-scale automated probing, and micro-architectural attacks like cache timing are, honestly, still evolving. So let's quickly recap. Timing attacks exploit how long operations take, not what they return. Even tiny timing differences can leak sensitive data. They are especially dangerous in authentication and cryptographic systems. And, honestly, proper coding practices, along with constant time operations, are essential defenses. Now let me leave you with something to think about. If a system gives the correct output every single time but leaks tiny timing differences, is it really secure? A system can look perfectly safe on the surface, yet silently leak information through timing behavior. Understanding timing attacks helps you think like an attacker, and more importantly, build systems that do not give away secrets unintentionally. Before you go, here's a quick challenge for you. Why does early exit logic make timing attacks possible? Which type of timing attack is more accurate, local or remote, and why? What is the purpose of constant time comparison? And can adding delays fully prevent timing attacks, or just reduce the risk? Pause the video and think about your answers. And if this made you realize that security isn't just about what a system does, but also how it behaves, go ahead, like the video, share it with someone who thinks hacking is only about brute force, and subscribe for more deep dives from the Advanced Hacking Attacks and Exploitation playlist.